Hi everyone, and welcome back to Move with Katie. Today we have a fun, spicy, and soft flow for you. So let's get started. We'll begin in the middle of our mats. Find a seated position, close down the eyes if that feels good, or maybe pick a point on the floor in front of you and just gently gaze and begin to settle into this time, this space, this experience. Take a big inhale through the nose. And at the top, take one more tiny sip of air. And then as you exhale, allow the shoulders to relax, maybe part the lips, sigh out the mouth, make some noise or not, whatever feels good to you. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, fill up the lungs, fill the belly. Then take a tiny bit more of air in. And exhale, let it go. Last time, inhale. When you reach the top, sip a little bit more. And then exhale, release. Let the face become soft. Let the belly button area be soft. Let the hips and the knees and the shoulders be soft. And just take these moments to allow the breath to return to neutral and settle into the sensations of the body. With your next breath, you might bring the palms to touch at heart center and settle on an intention for your practice. What is it that you're hoping to experience here today? And then what are you hoping to take with you beyond the mat? Once you've settled on that intention, begin to rub the palms together, creating some heat, some warmth, some friction, our first energetic practice. And then place the hands over the closed eyes and slowly flutter the eyelashes open, coming back to the light in between the fingers. Circle the eyes 3 times in one direction, and then 3 times in the opposite. And then let's reach the hands out to the side, spread the fingers wide, flex the palms of the hand, extend the arms, look up, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, wrap the arms around the body, give yourself a big hug, fingertips land on the shoulders. Next, inhale, reaches the palms out to the side again. Flex the fingers up, press the palms away, lift the heart, inhale. And as you exhale, round the spine, hug yourself, opposite arm on top if you remember which one was first. We'll do that twice more. Inhale to open and extend, lift the heart, maybe even a smile. Exhale, big hug. Can you wrap the arms a little tighter? Last time, inhale, flex the fingers towards the sky. And exhale, wrap the arms around yourself. Big squeeze. Next, inhale, we'll extend the arms out wide one more time. Wrap them around behind you. Interlace the fingers and shoot the knuckles down towards the floor, lifting the heart, opening up through the shoulder blades. This might feel really intense. Just go with it. Notice the sensations that arise. Inhale to look up. And then exhale to drop the chin down. Keep that nice stretch in the back of the neck here. Inhale to lift the gaze, lift the chin. And as you exhale, bring the fists over to one hip, kind of looping the hands behind the back. Drop the ear towards the opposite shoulder of where the hands are. And then we're just going to floss the neck a couple of times by sawing the nose diagonally at a 45-degree angle. If you feel any tension that feels good, lean into that. If you feel pain, modify by moving any minimal space away from the pain that you can. Next, inhale, let's bring the head through center and let's bring the fists over to the opposite hip. Drop the ear down, and we'll take that sawing motion on the opposite side. Nice stretch here for the neck and also a little floss of the nerve that connects from your jaw down to the shoulder. Maybe the eyes are closed, maybe they're open. Mine just end up closed every time. You do you. Then let's inhale back through center. And as you exhale, open the arms out wide. And then we'll circle them around and we'll come to meet in a child's pose. So take your time to get there. And I'm going to invite you to tuck your toes under in this child's pose. So we're getting a little bit of a stretch toward the bottoms of our feet. Set the hips back and allow the heart to melt. You'll notice if the toes are tucked, the hips are a little higher than normal. That's okay. And that might create some space for your heart to drop through the shoulders, collarbones wide and broad and reaching for the floor. Take a moment here. And just notice the sensation in the bottom of your feet as you press the hips backward. There's no judgment on whether that sensation is good or bad. Just notice it. What's it like? Take a couple more rounds of breath. Fill the lungs and empty them all the way out. And then with your next exhale, we'll untuck the toes, round the spine, and roll up, sliding the hands underneath the shoulders, coming to a tabletop position. Maybe bring the knees in line under the hips, and then just wag your tail, shake the hips side to side a couple times. Maybe tap the tops of the feet onto the mat. And then all together, let's take some rounds of cat-cow. Inhaling to drop the belly and look up. And exhaling to press the floor away, maybe even coming onto fingertips, rounding through the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, press the floor away, maybe even to fingertips. Inhale, drop the belly. And then with your next exhale, tuck the toes, round the spine, keep the rounded spine as you lift the knees from the earth, and then allow the spine to lengthen and straighten back into a downward facing dog. Maybe drop one knee in and then the other. Taking some wiggle time here. Good work. Warming up the body. Find a moment of stillness in your downward dog and let's bring the awareness to the hands. How can we press the floor away? Really invite that feeling. And you'll notice what happens to your shoulder blades as you press the floor away. And then ground down through the knuckle pads and the finger pads so that the wrists don't take all of the load. See if we can do this without shifting our weight forward and back and instead just focusing on where we're placing that strength. Next, inhale, let's shift weight to the left foot and drive the right toes towards the sky. Then drop the heel towards the hips and take some big circles, opening up, lubricating that hip joint. Nice and wide. One direction. Check in with your finger pads and knuckle pads, what's happening there. And then switch the direction of that knee. Big circles. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, bring the knee in towards nose, round the spine, press the floor away, and slowly step the foot forward and through, coming into a runner's lunge. Pull the heart forward. Maybe you're on your fingertips now. Maybe the gaze is slightly forward. Inhale. And then as you exhale, lower the back knee down, untuck the toes, and inhale, sweep the arms high overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. And we're going to take the elbows and twist from the rib cage over towards the right side of the body. So the elbows are helping guide that motion. We're seeing the reaction, but a lot of the work is happening here in the core. So twisting, inhaling to stay. And then we'll exhale, drop the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, and then you can use the elbows to help twist a little deeper. Breathing, you got it. And then inhale, arms back to sky, spine to neutral. Take a big breath, lift the heart, little back bend. And then exhale, send the weight forward. Plant the fingertips about a hand in front of that right foot. And we're going to step up onto the right foot, lifting the left toes. So we're in like almost a warrior 3, maybe standing split. You take the variation that feels good. Inhale here. Exhale, allow the heart to melt, allow the left toes to land next to the right at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step, hop, float to the back of the mat, high plank. Send the heart forward over the wrists, bend the elbows next to the rib cage, lowering chaturanga. Inhale to pull the heart through. And exhaling back, downward facing dog. Bring the weight into the knuckles and the fingers off the wrists. Press the floor away. Inhale, sweep the left toes high. Exhale, drop the left heel in towards glute and take some big circles with that hip. Warming up. Notice the finger pads and knuckle pads, what's going on there. And then reverse the direction of those circles. How big can you make them? How exaggerated? All together, we might inhale. And as you exhale, bring the knee in towards nose, round the spine, press the floor away, and then set the foot down in between the hands. Pull the heart through, come to fingertips, runner's lunge. Inhale. And then as you exhale, set that back knee down. And inhale to sweep the hands high overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, elbows wide. Next, inhale. We'll take the rib cage and twist over to the left side of the body. And then drop that right elbow down and increase that twist. Good work. Use the core. Next, inhale. We recenter our gaze, lift the arms up overhead, lift the heart, little back bend. Exhale to bring the weight forward over the left toes. Plant the fingertips, shift the weight into the left foot, and we'll lift to that supported warrior 3, or maybe standing split. You find the variation that feels good. Inhale. And as you exhale, drop the right toes, drop the heart forward, fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, move through a vinyasa. Plant the hands, step it back, lowering through chaturanga. Inhaling to lift the heart. And exhaling, downward facing. Inhale right away to sweep the right toes high. Exhale, bring knee in towards nose, step the foot through, and this time come up to a crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up high overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to press the heel away. And then take that twist, dropping left elbow over to the outside of the right knee. Inhale here. Exhale, stay. Next, inhale, takes the arms back overhead. Lift the heart, find a little back bend. And as you exhale, opening to warrior two. Extending through the fingertips. Gaze is over that front middle finger. Inhale here. Exhale, let's settle. Bend the back leg. We'll settle into Skandasana, back of the mat. Hands might lower or come to heart center. Inhale here. Exhale, back through warrior two. And then we're going to drop the left hand down, spin onto the back foot, and then reach the left arm high. Find that lunge one more time. Inhale. Exhale, heart leans forward, and fingers might come down or they might stay lifted. We rise to warrior three. Inhale here. Good work. Exhale to stay. See if you can lower the left hip and really engage all parts of the right foot, finding a nice stable base. Inhale here. Exhale, hinge from the waist, fingertips come down, left toes reach high, find that standing split. And then exhale, left toes lower next to the right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the palms, and we'll move through your flow. Lowering chaturanga. Inhaling to lift the heart. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Beautiful job. Press the floor away. Engage the knuckles. And then right away, inhale, left toes reach high. Exhale, knee in towards nose, step that left foot through and rise all the way to crescent lunge. Inhale, arms high. Exhale to stay. Next breath, follow the inhale. And as you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Elbows wide. Take a twist with the inhale to the left side. And as you exhale, lower the right elbow. Inhaling the gaze towards the sky. Nice and strong. You've got it. Next, inhale, reaches the arms back towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, opening up to warrior two. Fingertips long, base nice and stable. Inhale here. Look forward over that left hand. Find some length, some extension. And then exhale, bend into the right leg. Sit down towards the back of your mat. Palms heart center, Skandasana. Holding here for just a moment. And then exhaling, moving through warrior two, back to the top of the mat. Letting the right hand scoop down and then back up as you pivot onto the back foot, crescent lunge, little back bend, lift the heart. And then as you exhale, heart reaches forward, fingertips reach forward, weight onto the left foot, come to warrior three. Good work. Nice and strong in that left leg. Next, exhale, lowers left hands, both hands to the floor. Lift the right toes high. Standing split. Inhale here. Exhale to drop the right foot and find a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, plant the hands, step, hop, float, back of the mat. Lowering through your flow. Inhaling to lift the heart. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Nice work. Let's take one big cycle of breath here. Inhaling, fill the lungs. Exhale, let it go. Maybe shake the head. Yes. Maybe shake it. No. And we'll take one more round with a few more adjustments. Let's inhale, sweep the right toes high. Exhale, bring the knee in towards nose, step it forward and through. And inhale, reach the arms up high overhead. Exhale. This time, let's bring the hands to heart center. And we'll find that twist, dropping the elbow to the left knee, or to the right knee, left elbow to right knee. And then we'll take a moment to get really nice and comfortable here. Because we're going to start to rock the weight forward and back and see if we can move straight into that warrior three, keeping the elbow glued to the knee. So when you feel ready, lifting those left toes off the ground, and maybe the right knee stays bent, or maybe you straighten it. Fun little challenge for our balance here. You've got it. Inhale, exhale. And then gently, let's set those left toes down at the back of the mat, and we'll spiral open to a warrior two. Good work. Inhale, extend the arms long. Exhale, settle back into that skandasana, back of the mat. To make it a little fun, let's plant the right hand next to that back foot and open up into a twisted lunge. Left hand reaches for the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, set the right knee down and pick the right foot up towards the glute. Grab hold with the left hand. Nice quad stretch. Maybe the foot kicks into the hand. Little added opening. Maybe the front knee drops out to the side. Find a variation that feels good. Your next exhale, gently release the back foot, and we'll come back into a skandasana, bending the left knee, pointing right toes towards the sky. Inhale here. Exhale back to that warrior two, front of the mat. And then we'll drop the hands down, framing out the front foot, and step back. Move through your vinyasa, lowering chaturanga. Inhaling to lift the heart. And exhaling to downward facing dog. One cycle of breath, nice and strong. Recenter. And then inhale, let's sweep the left toes high. Exhale, bring the knee in towards nose, step it forward and through. Inhale, lift the arms high overhead. And exhale, bring the palms to heart center. Next, inhale, let's take that right elbow over and we'll connect it with the left knee, finding a twist. And then we're going to get really strong in our left leg, really strong in our core. Maybe start to rock back and forth, and then put all of your weight onto that left foot. Lift the right toes and find that twisted warrior three. Maybe the left leg stays bent, or maybe it straightens. Find the variation that feels good. Wherever you are, breathe. Next, exhale, gently set the right toes down at the back of the mat. Inhale, cartwheel the arms open to a warrior two. Take a big breath. And then exhale, set down, skandasana, back of the mat. Little relief. Plant the left hand next to that back foot and spiral open, reaching right arm to the sky, finding a twisted lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, drop the back leg. And bring that left heel in towards glute. Reach the right hand back to catch it. Maybe the right hip opens, that front knee drops out. Maybe you kick the foot into the hand, opening the shoulder. Just different variations. Find what feels good. And with your next exhale, gently release the back foot. Right hand spirals back towards the back of the mat. And then we settle into skandasana once more. Right knee bent, left leg long. Inhale here. Exhale to warrior two, front of the mat. And then drop the palms on either side of the front foot. Step it back. Find your chaturanga. Inhaling to lift, upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing. Next, inhale, gaze comes forward, and as you exhale, roll onto the knees, letting the knees be wide. And we'll take a child's pose for just a moment, settling the forehead on the floor. Just noticing the difference of where we're at now versus the beginning of our practice. And then grounding down through the left hand, let's inhale to reach the right fingertips up and towards the sky, as big of a twist as we can find. And then exhale to thread the right hand under the left armpit and find a little shoulder opening. Next, inhale, presses into the left hand again, right arm spirals all the way to the sky. Exhale, sets the right hand down next to the left, and inhale, reaches left arm to the sky. Big twist. And then as you exhale, thread that left arm under the right and settle down, opening the shoulder. Next, inhale, press into the right hand, lift the left all the way back to the sky. And as you exhale, set both hands down, walk them all the way back. So we come to sit on our shins, and then we'll bring our shins underneath us and move towards the back body, rolling down and gently landing. We'll finish out this practice with a couple of bridges and maybe even a shoulder stand if it sounds fun. So bring the heels in close to the hips. Press the palms face down on the mat next to the body, and we'll inhale. And with your exhale, I want you to lift the hips, lift the heart, and squeeze the knees together. That's going to find you in your bridge pose. Lifting up with the hips, up with the chest. The neck remains nice and neutral. Squeeze the inner thighs together. If you have a block, you could even put it there in the middle of your knees, holding on to it. See if you can lift a little higher. Ground down into the heels. And then as you exhale, gently roll down the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Bring the knees in towards the chest, take a circle one direction. And then the other. And let's take that once. No, let's take that twice more. If you do have a block, this might be a good time to grab that block and put it in between your knees. Have a little extra challenge here. Squeeze the heels in towards the glute, press the feet, palms down to the floor, inhale. And as you exhale, lift the hips, lift the heart. Maybe this time roll the shoulders underneath you, interlace the fingers, and find a little more height. Notice the difference with the block. Could be a book, a water bottle, you name it. Little extra challenge. Engage the glutes. Engage the breath. And then if you've taken the bind of the fingers, gently unwind and roll down to the back body. Now we'll do this one more time, but if you feel nice and open, nice and warm, and you'd like to lift all the way to wheel pose, and that's in your practice, please feel free to do that at this time. If not, please take bridge once more, or lay on your back and smile at the ceiling. It's nice too. Take your fingertips. If you're taking full wheel, you might take your fingertips and point them towards your shoulders, elbows point towards the sky. And if you want, you can keep that same block in between your knees for that extra challenge and that kind of spacing of how to keep your body nice and engaged. And we're gonna press into the palms, lift the hips, lift the heart, and maybe you come to the top of the head first, squeezing the elbows together. Or maybe you lift all the way up towards that full wheel pose, engaging the glutes, engaging from the heart space, pressing the chest up and forward towards the ceiling and towards the wall behind you. And then grounding into the finger pads and knuckle pads like we did in our downward dog. Good work. When you're ready, gently bend into the elbows and maybe the top of the head lands. And then tuck the chin in towards chest and roll all the way down to land gently on the back body. Bring the knees in towards chest circle 1 or 2 times, one direction, and then the other. And then let's reach our toes for the sky, maybe rolling out the ankles. And we're gonna take a plow pose here. So from this space, we'll lift the toes and the hips up over the head, and let the toes gently land. Maybe once more you interlace the fingers. Maybe you bend the elbows so the hands land on the low back, supporting. Whatever you do, this is a space where we keep our neck really nice and neutral. Lift the hips up to create more space. And if that plow pose feels really good, stay there. But if you want to extend toes towards sky and you're feeling nice and stable on your shoulders, you might find a shoulder stand. The weight here is really placed in the shoulders. That's why it's called a shoulder stand and not a neck stand. So you're really making sure those shoulders are rolled underneath of the body and supporting your weight there. Engage the core. And just breathe. You got it. If you've taken that shoulder stand, you might gently bend at the hips, lowering toes back towards plow. If the hands are supporting the low back, you might extend them long, and then just gently roll all the way down to the back body, letting the vertebrae come down one piece at a time, and then gently lowering the legs all the way to the floor. We'll pull the right knee in towards chest and finish off with a couple of twists. Bringing the right knee in and then dropping it over to the left side, extending the arms wide like a T. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to bring the gaze over towards the right hand. Next inhale brings the right knee back in towards chest, roll onto back body. And then send the right leg long. Give the body a little shake before bringing the left knee in towards chest. And then gently exhaling the left leg over to the right side, extending the arms wide like a T. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to relax into the posture. And maybe the gaze goes over the left hand. Next inhale brings the gaze to neutral, and as you exhale, pull the left knee back into chest, roll onto back body, bring the right knee up to meet it. And if there's any other postures calling to you at this moment, please feel free to take them. But if not, wrap the arms around the shin, bring the forehead to the knees, give yourself a big hug, tell yourself something nice like, "You're amazing, I'm so proud of you, you can relax." Inhale. And then exhale, release, opening everything to our Savasana. Heels as wide as the mat, palms face up, take up space. And then allow the eyes to close. Allow the breath to become soft and neutral. And give yourself these next few moments to really celebrate relaxation, to integrate the practice, and to be in stillness, for there is much we can learn from being in stillness. If you find yourself tempted to pause here and move on, I encourage you to take a scan of your body before doing so. Give yourself a space to place your intention. How does it feel down at the base of your feet? What can you notice about the way that your calves connect with the floor? How heavy can your hips become? How grounded can the back of the heart be? Where can you notice sensation in the hands? What tingling and aliveness is there? And what tension can you ease in the muscles of the face, the jaw, the space between the eyebrows, the cheekbones? Where can you let go of the need to change for just a moment and accept everything as it is? Once you've marinated in that acceptance for long enough, and I encourage you to remain here for as long as it takes for it to feel long enough. But once you're ready, start to deepen the breath first. And then gently tap each fingertip with the thumb, very intentionally coming back to movement. And then maybe start to wiggle the feet and the wrists and drop the neck side to side, tenderly and carefully, waking the body back up. And then inhaling to reach the hands high overhead and point the toes down below you. Shrug the shoulders to the ears, full body stretch. And exhale to roll onto one side, bringing the knees in towards chest and cradling the head in the hands for just a moment before pressing yourself back to a seated position, like the one where we began our practice, ending in that Sukhasana, that easy seated pose. Bringing the hands once more to heart center, reflecting on your intention. And then bringing the thumbs to third eye and bowing forward to meet the earth in a moment of gratitude. Thank you for sharing this practice with me today. I am honored and humbled, as always, by your presence. Namaste. Thank you all, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a beautiful day, week, night, whatever it might be for you, and I'll see you next time.